So I'm not going to go into details. I think I said this after we ended up moving Max, that any of the conversations I had with him, leading into his last start as a Met, and then any conversations that I'd had after, I just want to kind of honor the those conversations that we had, and I don't really want to talk about them publicly, but I know I did state with a lot of you when we were talking about it, that going into 2024, that we wouldn't have the same odds that we did maybe going into 2022 or 2023, kind of looking at like the preseason odds, whether you want to look at some of the some of the forecasting platforms that go out, and The Athletic or Fangraphs or Baseball Prospectus, or even if you want to look at what the sports books in Vegas are saying the Major League Baseball over-unders are. But I had articulated that going into 2024, we don't see ourselves we'll having the same odds that we did in 2022, 2023, but we will field a competitive team in 2024. And so now is a time where we start to think about what opportunities can exist in the wintertime, what kind of resources that we'll have at our disposal, and put our best foot forward. But to get to the sustainability that we always talk about, we were going to have to do that organically. And there's lots of ways to do that. And I think some of the more traditional ways have been when teams have, for lack of a better word, tanked and put themselves up at the top of the draft, the amateur draft order every single year. Well, that can take 5, 6, 7 years to do, and we don't want to endure that, and we don't think you have to endure long stretches of that in order to build something sustainable. So that's ultimately where our goal is to build to that sustainability. But but like I said, we won't have the same odds in 2024, but we'll put together a competitive team. There was a lot of clubs that inquired, and I'd say there was about 4 to 5 that got serious, and it probably came down to really about 2 this afternoon. And both were acceptable. And, we ultimately were able to get, a pretty, well-known name, in Drew Gilbert, high draft pick, notable player from Tennessee, left-handed bat, plays a premium position, run, field, throw, understands the strike zone. He's a relentless player. I think people are going to really enjoy watching this guy play. I think it, plays a little bit with his hair on fire. And he'll join our Binghamton affiliate. And, it's just, a high end, top 100, top 50 talent, depending on what you're looking at. And then with Ryan Clifford, another guy that, great job by Houston and their amateur department. He's a high bonus high school draft, plays corner outfield and also first base. He's got an above average arm. He hits the ball incredibly hard. He's outperforming the league, is high A by a really good margin. So we're going to send him to Brooklyn, and kind of get our hands around him. But to add that kind of impact talent, that met the price point. But to your point, Will, I mean, that did, that's going to chip away at the 2024 odds, and we're going to have to address that in the wintertime and see how much of that can be recovered.
How much of this method of rebuilding the farm system, like you're doing with these trades, is trying to make up for the pandemic draft when there were so few picks, and then obviously future drafts have been 20 rounds? Is it harder for you to kind of rebuild the farm system the traditional way? Is this one way to address that?
Yeah, I mean, this is an avenue to do it. And I think I talked the other day about repurposing a little bit of Steve's investment in the club. So if we can deploy some of those resources and use those to help expedite a farm system build, that's kind of a good consolation prize. I think right now we would have, anybody would trade places to be, winning the division or tied for the division or whatever. That's where we would rather been. But these are our circumstances. And so if we can expedite that and really just enhance the farm system top to bottom, I think we had to look at that. And that was something that Steve and myself and my team, who did a lot of the heavy lifting during this deadline. That's something that we talked to Steve about, and as a potential opportunity. And we got to this point, and kind of made the best of the circumstances.